hey, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret that I figured out. You gotta feel good. I'm telling you, if you the only reason motherfuckers don't achieve some shit they trying to do, you gotta feel good. That's it. That's it. Because it never dawned. It amazes me how it never dawns on people that if you really looking at a video game and you see some shit working one way, then you would naturally assume it worked the other way. You're like, damn, if I'm peeking around the corner and getting shot to death, then it must mean not peeking around the corner mean I might not get shot to death. So the first thing you do is try the opposite. But with life, it's like we do some shit right, and we'll try to fucking see. I'm gonna say how much for a feature. Free actually. Like I just like the. Is your equipment good? We ain't gonna be making no bullshit, huh? Like if the quality good, I'm working with motherfuckers. I don't even fuck. But anyway, what I was gonna say was we'll do some shit in life. We'll say like, but this be the problem. It don't be motherfuckers be actually committed. It be motherfuckers that be like committed to the result. They don't really be committed to the process. So when the first time it go wrong, they turn their back on it. You know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker will say, you'll beat their kids forever, and then they'll try whatever that shit that they call gentle parenting, which don't be gentle parenting. They'll do that, and then they'll do that shit for like 3 days, and if it don't work, it's a dub. But you've been beating them for 20 years. You ain't gonna try gentle parenting for 20 years? You know what I'm saying? It don't, but that's how it go. Usually when people try certain shit, they don't try it genuinely. When you genuinely try something, you actually keep improving that shit and going through it to see what can come out of it. So think about this. You tell a motherfucker something about being happy, right? They'll be happy for one day and then be like, didn't that happen? But it wasn't because you actually paid attention to see if something actually happened. It was that you was hoping for some shit because you didn't even believe it was gonna work in the first fucking place. So then the shit don't work and it validates what you already had in your head. The point being, motherfuckers will put their mind to some shit. They'll lose their fucking mind, then get right, then go through some shit, then put their mind to it, then try to make it work, and then it don't fucking work. And they be like, the devil threw a wrench in my shit. Everything worked all the way up to the end, then it failed. But a motherfucker won't look at that and be like, damn, maybe. And bro, on Twitch, my boy, who said this shit? Who said that? Who said this shit earlier? I think that wasn't Retro. Who said that shit earlier? Damn. SLZ, that was you. Yeah, same thing I was telling you earlier, my boy. It's the same shit. They'll do that. They'll feel fuck. It's like saying I want something that requires you to be in a certain state within yourself is basically setting yourself up for failure, because what you get is going to determine by how you are. So when motherfuckers when they go through some shit, like your house will burn down, they go through it initially feeling very fucked up, terrible, distraught, out their mind, lost it, mad, upset. Everything but balance, joy, anything but that shit. All types of low frequencies or vibrations, low states of just being within themselves. Then they'll get together because they think that shit didn't do nothing. They think that you just felt all of that and went through all of them thoughts and all that shit for free. Like, that's not gonna cause a problem within your, like, with that don't got nothing to do with the results. So they ignore that. Then they get right. You know, they might go to church on a Sunday, or they might start praying after 2 months of feeling like shit. Then they start trying to set their shit up. So they start trying and working and put their mind to it. And then when the shit don't work at the end, they'll just say, oh, it wasn't meant to be, or it couldn't have happened, or fucking the devil got in the way. But they'll turn their back on even trying again and just say, oh, the life's hard, it's impossible, it was 50-50 anyway, or some idea that they came up with, never actually thinking about how you think and feel play into that shit. Because if you put a seed, your thoughts and shit is happening in here, your desires is happening in here, your fucking emotions is happening in here. Well, if in here is fucked up, meaning that you feel, who is that? Luca Lou? I appreciate the follow, my boy. If you feel fucked up on the inside, and then you act from that place, you think thoughts from that place, you feel. That's the first thing happen. You feel some shit. You figure out how you are, and then from that place, you think that bullshit, you talk that bullshit, and you do that bullshit. Even if you do all the right shit, the wrong thing happen. When you see that, nobody looks at that and says, oh, damn, the opposite must be true. It must be a way that I can do all the wrong shit and the right shit happen. And then what would that mean? That would mean it ain't no right way in the first place. But because you ain't paying attention to what's going on and what's happening right in front of you, you not even looking at that shit. You not even asking yourself, damn, what happened? You're not experimenting with human emotions in life. You're not testing this shit. You ain't saying, well, what happens if I feel good for 7 days? What happens if I genuinely don't get irritated? If I choose to not be irritated, not be angry, what if I choose to genuinely be joyful? Not on some fuck shit. Like, honestly, I'm not playing. I'm not trying to fucking... Nothing that somebody told me. Oh, God is this, or the devil is that, or the devil is a good guy, or God is a bad guy. Whatever. Fuck all that. Just whatever. Fuck all the ideas and the beliefs and everything. What if you just pick with your own idea, sit your ass down, and you say, I will figure this out for myself. I'm going to choose to be joyful and see what that does. What does that do? And then, the week after that, based off what I get from that, I'll choose to be joyful and then act from that place. So I'll work this way, think this way, plan this way. Let me see, what does that do? It failed, okay. But they don't experiment with shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So you just run around with ideas because you keep trying to find a fast track. You keep trying to find a fast track or a solution or something that works. One size fits all. You don't want to be in control of how you think and feel and are out here. That's too much shit to control or operate for most people. So they want to fast track it. They want to find a fucking, what's a mindset I can get in? A habit, something I don't got to think of. They want to autopilot life. They don't want to be responsible for how they respond to everything that happens. They don't want to be responsible for how they think about everything that happens. They don't want to be responsible for what you view some shit. That's why they looking for good and bad, right and wrong. Shit that you can just, that's why people want law and order, because they feel like they don't trust. That's why nobody trusts in the fact that the world can be good out of choice. That's the only way it happens. Not because we made the best laws, but because we created the best fucking people. Not because we got laws that keep people from being greedy, but because we got people that don't want to be greedy. But that's scary because you're not used to living with people like that, seeing people like that, or hearing people even talk like that, or even hearing this shit come from the mouth of a motherfucker. Being conscious and deciding how you're gonna be mentally, emotionally, and physically, and playing with it and trying to figure out, how does this tweak my life? Like, okay, how does what I think, say, and do, how does what I think, feel, and fucking do physically determine, how does that affect my life around me? Get in the lab and figure that shit out, but people don't. So that's why they just get wrapped up in their shit, you know what I'm saying? Pin the link. Got you. I got you. Let me actually do that right now. Fuck, I gotta get off this screen. Hold on. Let me go pin that, my boy. Well, you a real one. I sure forgot to pin that motherfucker. There you go. Let's go back to the other screen, though. What the fuck, man? Depression is an emotion. Agreed? I would say, and I wouldn't say necessarily just an emotion like that. I would probably say more so it's a larger aspect of an emotion that you already have. But I don't think you can quantify emotions. Like, I feel like it's a spectrum, just like any other thing. Like, I feel like depression is what a better way would say is amplified some other shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you talking about anger or sadness, let's just amplify it. You talking about joy, let's just amplify that. And you can call it that, happiness, joy, bliss. It's a spectrum. You can be intense with some shit, or you can be lower with some shit. You feel me? But yeah. I guess I would say, oh shit. I guess I would say an emotion, for a lack of better words. I think depression is in our food. That shit, boy, that's plastic. That's plastic. You get what I'm saying? So depression is a fancy way of saying you're feeling bummed out. In my experience, yeah, on the far end though. You know, if you say bummed out, we use bummed out for like, we wouldn't use that like, oh my God, why you running? What's wrong? I'm bummed out. No, they shoot at me. You feel me? We wouldn't use it like that. You feel me? So I wouldn't say bummed out, but yeah, I get what you, if you saying, I think I get what you're saying. So yeah. I literally am changing my health towards better by not stressing over or about what I'm currently going through. Hey man, it's called karma yoga. Not my nigga Bunky. Yeah, and once you become consciously depressed, you can either choose to overcome that or you can choose to let it consume you. It's not even about being consumed. I would just say not about consciously being depressed. It's really that once you become aware of the limited aspect of your being, and I'm talking about your body, not who you are truly, or who I am. I'm talking about your body, your physicality, your five senses. Once you become aware of that, there's a natural disassociation anyway. That's the idea that usually some people figure this out who still intellectually based, and they'll say shit like, well, when you the more you learn, the more depressing life gets, or the less fun things become. What they trying to describe, but it's almost like learning how to drive and realizing like, oh, the highway is a motherfucker, but you only looking at it like that because you just learned about the fucking highway from the perspective of the driver. Once you get on the highway, you like, I mean, it's a motherfucker, but not the same reason you thought it was a motherfucker. It's not just like, oh, look at this. This is just like, no, you eventually realize like, okay, well, some people can't drive, but you know, the lines and the signs and shit, I mean, it's a different type of motherfucker. You're not saying it's a motherfucker. You like, it's a motherfucker. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same shit. When people start to become aware or conscious in any way, as of like, okay, well, it comes off a lot of different ways. Well, we're not this. We're outside the matrix. Or they'll say shit like, you're the universe experiencing itself in the body. Or when they start to understand this shit, not even in experience, but just intellectually, they start to realize just in a few ways that this ain't me, or we really work a 9 to 5 every day. Like that shit kind of hits, and it becomes a little over exaggerated. Like, yeah, you on the right track, but when you know, when shit like that comes into your experience a bit early, or intellectually, or mentally, before it's actually an experience, it can get exaggerated and all weird. I'm an alien, or like motherfuckers go, they make their way to that realization pretty goddamn differently. Like some people go way conspiracy theory, then they come back. Some people go way fucking like bitch religious as fuck and hurt people, then come back. And some people just they go atheist all the way to the fucking back of the room and then come back. Some people go straight to yoga and meditation. It happens differently. But the point that I'm making is that once you become conscious in a small way, that distance starts to happen. You basically stop, your identity starts to pull away from this, and that can cause a lot of different shit. You can be like, oh, you can fucking get on mushrooms and do all type of crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, that's just the byproduct of just evolution. That's just the process of life. It just grows. You're gonna grow and expand, and then you start seeing different shit and thinking different shit and looking at this, and now you got an existential crisis. Some motherfuckers take themselves out and all of that shit, but you know what I'm saying? Once you become conscious of yourself like that and you start consciously acting, yeah, you can still have fun in the world and do all type of shit like smoke, drink, eat, fuck, touch, see, taste, smell, hear, feel, whatever the fuck. But the problem is that now you have to do it consciously. Now you can't be ignorant. Now you have to know that smoking fucking ruins your body and still choose to do it. It's not just a brain dead moment. Now you have to know that fucking it's plastic in your food, but choose to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Or choose to do whatever, or choose to go through the work that you need to do to create the circumstances that you would need to have in order to grow your food. You would have to choose to chase something, not chase, but to move towards something that could be deemed as impossible because I'm broke or this and that, or all these other circumstances, the economy, the government, the world. You'd have to either choose to move towards the unknown, which is what you would have to do in order to, I guess, start gardening, and you live in a fucking apartment complex in the middle of the city because you don't know how it's going to happen. But you kind of feel like it could happen. You ain't made it all the way to knowing that impossible and impossible don't exist. So you'd have to just move straight towards that shit and just be like, I'm going to just move towards the unknown unknowingly, or I'm going to just stick with what I know and eat this bullshit. But you got to do it consciously. So now it's kind of difficult to have fun drinking and smoking when you know. Or it's kind of difficult to have, you get what I'm saying? So what happens is it wouldn't be becoming depressed consciously. It would just be that a motherfucker would become conscious in a small way within themselves and then realize that they're the problem in all ways and facets of themselves as it relates to themselves on all levels. Then they would have to consciously choose to do the hard thing, which is out of that, or do the easy thing, which is like, okay, it's comfortable to stay there, but it hurts. You get what I'm saying? It's more comfortable to hurt myself than it is to stop me from hurting myself. But I don't want to keep. You feel me? So, and when I say hurting, I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, all of that. So yeah, yeah, we are powerful. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Forgive me if I be running my mouth. I don't be looking at my damn. Come on now, I'm working on that though. I be trying to get to them points. I be forgetting them bitches sometimes. Yeah, kind of like when you've been depressed, it was cause life was very traumatic, or rather that's how you've been programmed in that moment. Because a motherfucker, put it like this: if I walk outside and you got on a turtleneck and I have a fucking nervous breakdown, I'm not bullshitting, a real nervous I legit start foaming at the mouth and have an anxiety attack. They have to call the fucking ambulance because I have literally flipped out. Would you deem that as a true traumatizing situation? Well, no, not by the standards of what you have been programmed to know. In my life, in my world, I or my mama or something has programmed me to respond like that when it's just like PTSD or cancer in your genetics or anything, like anything in your memory, subconscious, genetic memory, atomic. It's fucking why does something burn when you put fire to it? That's physics. The atomic structure just knows what to do. Fire, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. Just like a PTSD motherfucker hear a door slam, cause it's in them. Same shit. If they put that in me, then when I see a turtleneck, I'm gonna flip out. You can't weigh the trauma. That's why people be getting fucked up, because they be trying to say that, well, you shouldn't have been scared, or you should have been brave, or it ain't that serious for it. This is worse. It's the same. This logic applies to everything. Race, for sure. Religion, fucking the gender stuff, and all the other shit around that. Goddamn it, family, money. It's so many categories where we weigh out different shit, because it's like we are trained to react to certain shit a certain way. You know what I'm saying? If all of us get shot at, we would expect that it's normal for everybody to feel scared. Not knowing that it's very possible for a human being to hear bullets and know what they can do and be just like this the whole time. That is possible. But because that's not the conscious collective, that's not what the collective is doing unconsciously, it's not considered the norm. So if you would say, I expect you to get shot at and not be scared, I would be considered crazy. You feel me? Versus like a motherfucker saying, well, it's normal to be sad about your house burned down. It ain't normal to panic when you see a fucking green turtleneck. Well, you shouldn't be trying to fix normal. You shouldn't be trying to find a certain panic that's normal, because any fucking panic can be justified when you look at the person. So you don't fix these people by telling them that, hey, it's okay for you to be scared of a fucking black person. Hey, it's okay for you. It's not okay for you to not be scared of a white person. Or hey, it's okay for you to fucking want to do this to yourself. It is not okay for you to want to do this to yourself, because you're trying to classify which person is crazy and which person ain't. But in actuality, they both crazy in a certain way. They're both crazy. You panicking about a fucking bullet. You panicking about a fucking shirt. When you remove your ideas about that and be like, well, no, it's just objective. No. When you remove your own conclusions and you just look at it, you see a motherfucker panicking, having a panic attack behind a fucking turtleneck, a bullet, a gun, a word, a fucking pronoun, a race, a goddamn car, a scent, anything. Is just straight up unconscious memory that is some shit they don't know. And when a motherfucker realizes that and gets beyond that, they won't panic the idea of panicking in any situation decreases. The chances of them being distraught about any fucking thing, a TikTok, a fucking turtleneck, you saying some shit to them, any of that, it decreases, because this person has become conscious, rather than letting how they are within themselves be determined by how they were programmed to respond to shit. When a bullet fly, you do this. When you go broke, you do this. When you get money, this is how you feel. Your mind and your emotions is determined by what people told you they should be. When you get money, your mind and emotions do this. When I punch you, your mind and emotions supposed to do this. When somebody cuts you out, your mind and emotions do this. You got a predetermined response for anything that could possibly happen. So you're not really living. But once you get past that and you start just looking at shit as it happens around you, it's not happening to you, it's just happening. Then you could see, you could be broke as fuck and be like, huh. Or you could have a lot of money and be like, A person could be mean as fuck to you and you could be like, Because you wonder, you're curious. A person can be nice as fuck and you can be like, You are now in control of yourself. Not control, but you are conscious. Now how you happen isn't an accident. Your mind moves how you want it. Your emotions move how you want them. Your body follows all of that. So now you desire shit. You think about that. You feel the feelings of that naturally, because it's all a choice. You do that. You supercharge all of that with fucking a V8 motor, and now all of that. It's a cycle. And now your body moves in that direction. So it doesn't matter what you do. Even if you sold fucking drugs, that's gonna get you out. Even if you sold cans, it's gonna get you out. Even if you just look at Ray and fucking Kai. Ray went on a field trip and met Kai. Like, oh shit, now he hang with Kai Cenat every day. Bro, you don't gotta do the right thing. You just gotta be the right way. You exist the right way or everything the right thing. You just end up at the right place at the wrong time. You feel me? You know how that go? Because you was being a certain way, you did everything to avoid danger, and you still ended up in a Walmart while it was getting shot. I mean, damn, that's how it goes. Why do you think all the people that end up in a situation end up there? All of them. There's not a coincidence that everybody was there at the same time. All the people that left when they left. All the people that came when they came. Kids with them, shit, parents can manipulate the surroundings of their kids. So you can move your kid into a situation. He pure as fuck, but he don't know how to use it. You got the capability and fucking with it. So now you got you and your kid shot. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it depends. I'm telling you, man, it depends. Like when you really realize how fragile your body is, when you realize your mortality, you start taking the shit you do serious. You won't just be running around grimy as fuck. Not grimy, but you won't be running around aggressive as fuck. You walk real light on the planet, real gentle. Gentle as hell. I'm talking about very gentle. Like the way of which you touch the way of which you touch grass and walk on the ground and speak. You're very gentle with everything you do for that reason. You get what I'm saying? Because you know that this is none. If I know I can't see as to the best of my ability, which I do know that, I can't be running around assuming nothing. Because that one assumption could be my fucking death. It could be the end of my whole journey. Because I'm only trying to explore. But you fuck around, get too confident in the jungle, and you walk your ass off a cliff, it's over. It don't matter how old you is. You could be 10 years old. He was just you should have saw better. And it's not a shot. It's just that you have to know this, because when you are forced to walk around ignorant, even if you know you're ignorant and you're striving to realize this or be enlightened or whatever the fuck, if that's your purpose, if that's what you want from your life so that you can truly see and live really fulfilling and do really fulfilling things materially and non-materially, then you also have to accept that if you know you ignorant, you can't be running around this bitch assuming shit. You can't be, man, you ain't got time to get mad at shit. You ain't got time to get too blinded by nothing, because that one moment of blindness can cost you. You can get too excited and look up to somebody who finna take you out. Or you can get too mad and look down on the motherfucker who ain't got shit to do with you, who finna take you out. You could fucking make one mistake and think that it was the best thing for you. And it's over. But the unfortunate part about it is life is trial and error. So you have to do it. You gotta say, I don't know what I'm doing, but because I'm alive, I have to either hurry up and work on my vision, which is why I devoted myself to yoga and meditation, because I realized I couldn't see everything I wanted to see. So now I have to get up every day and do my shit. I got to. I'm trying to speed run it, because every day that I'm forced to fucking pick up a piece of food, drink some water, walk outside, look at people, and I know that I can see them pretty fucking good for my own sake. But just to know that I cannot see everything that's there, no matter what I can see, I can't see everything that's there to be seen when I look around me, fills me with this thought of like, if I don't hurry up and increase my vision, I could fuck around and the next door I walk through could be the last, because I thought it was some good shit, because I couldn't see. So that's why yoga is so important, because training my perception and getting my vision better will ensure that I can see what's all there. And when you can see what's all there, you don't gotta worry about danger. You can see it all. Or safety. You can see it all. None of that shit matters. But as long as you know you can't see, the fear of ignorance, the pain of knowing that you don't fucking know, makes you walk really gentle. You're very nice. You're very kind. Not out of fear or force. It's just that you understand that. You understand that it's like being weak as fuck and like not being muscular or no shit like that. You have to walk gently, because you know that shit, I could fall the wrong way and it's over. So you gotta actually sit down and walk slow and be very gentle. Be sensitive. You have to be. And that naturally comes with, being meditative and shit. And then you start to really become like that. You're talking about clairvoyance. Clairvoyance? What is that? Who is that? Little more sunshine. What the fuck? Fuck is that? Who that is? Who that is, Farodbb? We have a slew of abilities. I mean, don't go crazy. But I did some stuff. If you religious people would only feel you God could do it. Well, I ain't gonna say what I'm. They right though, but you right too. Because when I say God, when people, I think I think I know what you mean though. The conceptualization that people have behind the word God, it's not the same. I would use the label for sure. God, Allah, Spirit, Universe, the Infinite, whatever the fuck atheists call it. It's all the same shit. But because a motherfucker from a place of limited identification, he's gonna only be able to see it through separation. So when he says God, he's like, no, this is God. It's over here with me. I don't know what that is. So when he says universe, he's like, this. Now yours is over there. You get what I'm saying? He can't understand that this distance that you're trying, this pretending of I'm here and something's over there. He can't see that distance doesn't exist. That's the only reason he can experience the idea of space and distance or time, space and time, is because he's identified with this. He has an experience of his body. If he could experience life without a body, time wouldn't even exist. That's why in your dreams you don't perceive time the same way. Or when you astral project, or when yogis go into deep meditative trances and shit, and they sit down in one spot for like a whole week straight. The reason they can do that is because when there's no experience of your flesh or your body, you can sit in 1 minute to you is like 8 fucking days to most people. And that's why in the Bible they say a day to God is a year to humans or some shit. You see, this shit is all in religion. It all makes sense. But it only makes sense if your experience of life has actually been seen. I mean, not experience of life. If you have experienced that dimension of yourself for yourself, not a mindset, not a belief, but you've actually experienced it. The same way you experience your fucking heartbeat in your chest. You've actually closed your eyes and within yourself, you've experienced that. Once you see it and experience it just for a moment, then all of the shit I'm saying, you don't have to read it nowhere. You naturally will make all those connections. You know, just like, duh. Like, oh, of course. So it just becomes common shit in a way. Oh, yeah, my answer is yes if I could. You see? But really, it's just understanding how all these things around us on earth are in motion and stillness. Everything got to go back to stillness, too. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to fucking go back to stillness, man. I almost said it, though. Times is just created for man by the sake of sanity. Nah, I get what you're saying. But what you talk, when people, time is not a fuck, man. It's not, I used to say that shit too. It's not a man-made concept, but rather it's an experience that it's a level of experience that man can have because of his system. The reason other animals don't talk about time or see shit in terms of time isn't because they don't experience it. Gotta use that lightly. It's because they don't have the system that we have. Because you got this human system with all its complexities and shit, and it has the ability to allow you to go beyond your memory and transcend this shit, however you want to word that shit. Because you got that ability, that's like gravity. If we didn't know what gravity was, we would just say shit, you know, hey mama, can't use the word gravity because it don't exist. Just, mama. That just ain't a word for it. It just is. So time, just like gravity before it, I don't know how long we've been worried about we've been using time, but understand it, same shit. Time, before the experience was conveyed by another motherfucker, but it was still an experience. Just like gravity, you can do this. Time, you can do this. Like you can, like, you know, distance. Like you can see that. But until the motherfucker pay attention to it and say, I'm gonna call this distance, space, got you. You feel me? Until they had to conceptualize and quantify the experience of distance and space and time, or the conceptualize the experience of gravity. The word time is just us trying to conceptualize an experience that we have, and we agree that, hey, you see that? You see that shit? I see that shit too. That's all it is. But the experience itself comes from what I was saying. Because you have an identification with your physicality, because there's only the experience of time where there is body or matter or space, or you know what I'm saying? There's the only, where there is no body, no matter, no Maya, no karma, there cannot be a perception of time. This is why when you have no experience of your body in a tank or something floating in water, and you lose all senses of your nerves, just like in yoga, you lay in one of them tanks and you float in that salt water, your ears shut down, your eyes, your nerves, your taste, all of your experience of your body disappears. And what happens? You lose track of time in that motherfucker. You lay in that bitch for 5 minutes and be like, man, this motherfucker, man, you been here hours, and you astral project, you leave your body, all that shit. When people damn near die and have near-death experiences, when your system completely shuts down, and your experience, your identity, I hate using the word, your consciousness is no longer identified with your body, but rather something beyond that. Boundless. When it goes boundless, no bounds. Then you like, oh shit, I experience heaven and lights and shit, and oh God, we are everything. Same shit. Mushrooms, when you do that, you sit down on some mushrooms, same shit happens. What else kind of has this shit? When people go into meditative trances doing yoga and shit, and they get they sitting down for like a month straight without eating, sleeping, shitting. He just like, yeah, it's the same. It's the exact same shit. I promise you, it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
I put that on my own mama. Y'all niggas ain't got nothing to say to me. I got them bands like braids and beads. I got that cheese like grocery section. Got that cheese like rats in heaven. And no nigga, we do no stressing. I already learned my lesson. Yeah, I'm not from Earth, this is where I'm at. But when I leave, I'm coming back. You niggas really don't know me, father. Then your eyes are no